Put that in the car.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Did you consider having a bat? Daddy didn't have that trait.
You must have got that from Mummy's side. Plumbers, this is an emergency start. Big show because Chom needs to go. He's going to New Zealand to make sweet love with Liv, and he's got a plane to catch. And we've got Drapesy coming in a moment, and a special guest as well. But Chom is going to miss the flight unless we get to him quick. So, how are you, Media Street? Good to have you on.
Thank you, mate. I'm all right. I've had a rough week. You know, it is hard when you get plastered everywhere. I've had people thinking that I went to the papers to hard launch my beautiful partner. No, I didn't, and I'm putting that categorically on the record that I did not go to the papers. I did not go to Nova to launch her. The story goes, as we've heard many times, I was at Nova and Jason Lauren said, "Oh, where's Liv today?" I said, "She's in the car." They sent the producer down. They said, "Is it okay if she comes on the show?" I said, "It's fine.
We know this.
Good radio." So just put that out there. I did not ask for this to happen, and I've ended up in confidential. And shout out to Jackie. She wrote a nice piece.
We're not talking about that, mate. We're talking about the Johnny Ralph special on Saturday.
Mate, I've had that many
on game day.
I've had that many print media pieces this week. I just didn't know what you're talking about.
It's just. I'm glad you got a kick, son, and you actually went all right. But I was nervous for you.
So was I.
Cop any ribbing on the field?
No, I actually didn't. Which is
soft.
It is surprising.
Gone soft these days.
They have. No one said anything to me, but I thought Big Coxie was going to say something to me. But as we learned, he doesn't know who I am, so he must have missed that one. I didn't think it was going to be so big.
It was a big one.
Ralphie come in. He said,
Big Ralphie.
Yeah, Ralphie. After I went in confidential with Jackie,
yes.
I got a print media request from Ralphie through Stacey Oates, and I said, "Oh, Stace, if it's about Liv, I'm not doing anything about it because I'm not giving."
That's amazing. He's banning journalists.
I'm not giving any more airtime to this. It's a bit of a non-story. People don't care about Charlie Comben's love life.
No, appears they do.
Anyhow, Ralph comes in and
Ralphie.
Yeah, Ralphie. Sorry. Yeah, Ralphie comes in. He's asked me a few questions about my field, and he wanted to paint a picture of the balance between being a football and having about 40 different hobbies.
Right.
Which
Good
he did.
Story.
He did very well. He did an awesome piece. It was great, and he was awesome to work with as well. But he did try to slip one about living there. I said, "Ralphie, I'm not answering that." And he's like, "I'll have to touch on it. I'll put a little line in." But to his credit, he didn't. So kudos to Ralphie. I'd happily work with him again. And I was actually really happy with the piece. I think it painted a good picture that footy's my number one priority, but I do have a lot of interest outside of footy. But yeah, he did a great job. It had top 3 gigs, top 5 books as well, which was pretty cool. So I was pretty happy with that from Ralph.
Well, I'll tell you who liked it. And we are here for Mazda BT-50, and we both get beautifully supported by Sale Mazda and Mansfield Mazda. The Sale Mazda crew were that pumped by your article. I'm told they're framing it. And it's actually at the framer now, and you're going in the boardroom.
Beautiful.
Our boy Charlie giving it heaps in the old media.
I'm rusted on in Sale. The boys down there, Jason and Ants, they're good men, and they'll sell a good deal as well. So get down to Sale Mazda.
Getting any referrals? It's all about the referrals.
Had a lot of referrals recently.
Have you?
You got any need to pass on? Because I'm happy to get another one for the boys in Sale.
I'll tell you what, the key with the referrals. I hope this isn't boring to our plumbers, but it's just hearing people. When you hear someone go, "Car, what's that?"
Yes,
you need to get a car.
having an ear to the ground.
You've got to be on. I missed 2 at work. A couple of girls, they bought cars and I didn't know. So now I plaster it in the tea room.
Having an ear to the ground.
I follow people into the Dunnies, Seb Costello style.
Oh, come on, shipmates.
Shipmate style. And I say, "Excuse me, do you want to buy a car?" Mansfield Mazda, end of financial year sale. That's the key. Commitment.
While I'm here, mate, I've just got 2 little quick ones to bring up. Did you happen to catch Xander at Scans on Sunday? Because, mind you, I watched it. He was brilliant.
Good.
He's earned his spot and he was good. He got Bruzzy Maynard, who, mind you, has a bigger bravado kind of stature than my man Bulls Erha, who you could not get. So I was very happy with Xander's work. Have you?
Yeah, I got Bruzzy on Teams on 10, and he told me the story about how he used to get so excited.
Paid gig,
no, it wasn't paid. He told me the story that he used to get so excited before Little League that he Auskick that he'd wet the bed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so no, I'm not scared of Bruzzy. Good by Xander, good.
Xander, good
also,
story.
Sunday morning scans, there's no competition.
Yes.
Okay, Monday scans is where it's at. And Bull knows. Bulls are like, I'm not giving a grab on a Monday guy.
Yeah, okay. He's only a Sunday.
On a Sunday. Everyone's relaxed. You're having your coffee. There's no competition. Okay, Xander. So good. He's going very well.
He's going very well.
But let's not, be just sort of calling in a media award just yet.
He's not far off. The other one I had is we obviously spoke about my Give It Heaps moment last week where I said BT-50 20 times, but Reg, my dog, had one anti-anxiety tablet last week. I've since taken him to the vet. And I'm pleased to announce that Reginald is now on full-time anti-anxiety medication.
Well, that's fair enough.
Every morning, he has separation anxiety, my little Dachshund Reg, and he's now a lot more chill. So should we get him on?
Ooh, is he throwing to something?
Can we get Reg on?
Well, is there a grab? Am I missing something here?
There's no grab.
We're not getting the fucking dog. Okay? It's a pissy dog. They pissed on Paul Connors.
Connors actually replied in the comments.
Yes, he did. And said there's mayo on my story.
Yeah.
Well, there might be mayo on the fact that I keep saying he's my manager, and so far we haven't really engaged each other.
He was your
skipper.
captain.
But as I said, Paul, and I've brought it up once, when my ship comes in and the big deal's coming, I'm walking in with a big load full of suits, and Paul Connors is the number one, and Robbie D'Arazio second, and Nick Eashan third.
And Michael Oakes, number 4.
Number 4, good man, lives down Brighton way.
Great man, Oakes.
Anyway, so there we go, Paul. We're all good.
I'll bring in Reg next week.
Yeah.
I'm
a dog man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're a cruel person if you're not a dog person, and if you're a cat person, it's a screw loose. So we won't get into that.
Quick one, being a big media man, you've played a role in the Northern Bullants becoming Preston Bullants.
I have.
So all needs to be forgiven, and you know what? They should apologise for bashing your face in.
They should.
And ruining your shoulder.
They should.
And Hammer Jorgensen kicked a great goal on the weekend.
He sold candies from 60 metres out and kicked a brilliant snag.
It was a beautiful snag.
Can we share that to the socials, please?
I put it up. And you know what? I could see his hammer flopping in his shorts while he was balking.
I didn't see that.
It was like, I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to get the picture of, who was that great sprinter with a huge hammer? Matt Shervington running in this.
Who is that?
Okay, Google Matt Shervington sprinting and let's put Hammer Jorgensen's head on it, and that's our GIF. Okay, it's going to be a great clip. Okay.
That's a good clip.
It's a really good clip.
I do expect
a
full apology
Hammer.
from Preston, though.
Because they ruined your labrum.
They did.
You had a labral tear because of them.
They destroyed my labrum, and I remade the year has got a big hammer.
He's got a great hammer.
I'll just search him up. That's flopping. That's like the pole vaulter.
Oh, it's like the pole vaulter.
Anyway.
Yes, Plumbers, big show. Obviously, we're here thanks to Mazda. Check out the new BT-50 today at mazda.com.au. Now, Drapes is here, okay? Of course you are. You're back. You've had your little break here in Adelaide. How was that, by the way?
It was lovely, thank you. Yeah.
Good. You look fresh.
Fresh, yeah.
You've got good growth and your mullet is coming back.
Yep. Got my beard at the moment. What do you reckon of the beard?
I like the beard.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's thick.
It's starting to get there a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Izzy hates it. So
why? Because of the feel when you get passionate?
Yeah.
No. Well, the feel. Even my little daughter doesn't like my beard because she rubs her face on it.
She thinks I don't look very good, but it's given me more motivation to keep it. So the boys at the club are loving it, so that's all I care about.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Little health update. How we going?
Yeah,
you're walking around pretty well in that boot.
Yes, booting around now. I've ditched the crutches, walking around. So it's been a good week, getting my independence back again. So I'm not relying on Izzy, but. Back at the club, shifting some tin.
Upper body tin.
A lot of upper body tin at the moment.
Shit.
So we've been given the all clear to go pretty hard on the upper body. So we'll be chasing a bit on the bench press, I reckon.
You're going to have glorious pecs this summer.
Bit of
and a big back.
I was doing incline bench the other day,
actually.
that's
me.
I thought of you, yeah.
Maybe we could work out together.
We actually can.
Fucking oath.
Well,
maybe a bull-up.
actually, or salt.
Oh, salt.
Yeah.
We'll go to salt. I would love that, Drapesy.
Yeah.
Really lift with Simon Madden.
Yeah, let's do it. Dumbbell row.
Dumbbell row. That's such a 1980s exercise.
So we still do it.
When footy was physical.
Yeah.
Fuck, Drapes, you've made my
How
day
are you?
there. I'm pretty good. I'm, weirdly, I was feeling like shit all day. I almost called in crook for work today.
Really?
At 10, which I don't do a lot. And I know you don't have to be stoic, and every now and then it's fine to have a fucking sick day. I think I've been riding out the kids' bugs. Like my little fella Ted, he's picking up everything from kinder. And he's been a bit crook, ear infections and coughs and that. And I was thinking, geez, I've been stoic. Like I'm the kid, I sleep with him a lot of nights because he's scared of the dark. And I'm thinking, I've got to get one of these bugs eventually. He's coughing in my grill. And I've been really good. But this week, I think doing Thursday night, a full Thursday and then all the crosses down at the Cattery and then calling and then bowling back into a Ross Lyon press conference at 9 the next morning fucked me. Like I had all the body aches and that. I was just cooked. And this is quite a boring story, but I just started feeling like shit, like, sweaty and body aches. And I go, I'm no good here. But I was that excited by our guests that we have on tonight's shows, Moff, because there's just guests flying fucking everywhere and I don't know where we are, that I just had to, the old front up. The old plough on. And I'm feeling good. I don't know if I've had a bit of an adrenal surge, Drapesy, but anyway, I'm not feeling sick at the moment.
You've had a bit of feedback in the last week or so.
Feedback.
About you're wearing a Hawks scarf.
Well.
Can you talk us through that?
Drapesy, very good hosting from you. I don't know if I've had feedback. Look, I have a family to feed, okay? And, in this world, you're good at a few things. If you're good at a handful of things in this world, well, you have to make hay when the sun shines, okay? And interviewing past great footballers, I'm happy to put it out there. I'm very good at, okay? I enjoy it. I get the best questions and the best stories out of these legends. And when a club rings, whether it's Richmond, who I played 13 state league games for their affiliate, Coburg, back in the day, or Hawthorn, who just rejected me flat out, wrote me a letter saying, sorry, you're not in our plans, we don't rate you. But if they want to say, they want to come to me and say, we'd love you to interview Michael Tuck and Peter Hudson, two dead set legends. One bloke's played 426 games, the other has kicked 750 goals in 120 games. I'm happy to do it. And when they gave me a scarf, I thought this is a bit funky, but I was happy to put it on to get paid. And it's fair to say, Drapesy, I've had a bit of feedback about it. I may well be the MC mercenary of the comp, but I'm not really affiliated. Like, I do love the Cats. I put it out there. They saved, my mum will say it, they kind of saved my mental well-being, because all I wanted to be was a footballer. And they kind of said, you're not, and you're never going to be good enough, but you can act like one for 2 years. And for that, I'm always indebted to Geelong. But I'm not on the payroll of any club in particular. So and I'm just a footy guy. I would do a function for the Bombers too, Essendon, if you want to reach out. So no, I don't feel guilty. When I was serving those members that wanted to hear from Michael Tuck and Peter Hudson, and my God, I'll get to this in my BT-50 Give It Heaps moment, but Michael Tuck was the funniest man I've ever met. I will get to this, but I went a bit off script and I said, I was starting to really feel it in this function. I said, hey, Tucky, this was, and it was a function for members that pay a fair bit, like about $3 or $4 grand for a package. And it was a bit of an extra for them. So I said, you got to give them a bit more, not just the boring stories. I said, Tucky, is there something that you've just never told before? That you can let the people know. And I'm looking around the room going, no donk chat today. There's women and there's kids and there's all sorts of people. And we just probably steer clear of the donk chat. That was what my inner monologue was saying. And by the way, this is my BT-50 Give It Heaps moment, because it was going to be anyway. So I throw to Michael Tuck, Drapesy, and I go, Tucky, have you got one for us? Something you've never told before. And this is what Tucky came out with. He goes, look, yeah, Butts, yeah. Like on Tuesdays, every Tuesday down at the club, I used to get really sore glutes, like just a sore bum, and I'd be getting worked over on the bench on the bum, and I'd have me dacks down. And every Tuesday I'd just have my dacks down and I'd have a fully oiled up bum and walk pie. And every Tuesday he this is to the crowd. I'm going, Jesus, Tucky, what are we doing here? He's got Tucky just gives it heaps and goes. And I went, holy moly! I better quickly get to Peter Hudson and say, what's your story, Peter? Holy shit! How are we going here? Anyway, and there was more. Afterwards, Tucky goes, he's such a legend. He goes, can we have a couple of beers, son? I said, look, I've got a rare weekend off, mate. I'm happy to have a couple. So we had a couple of beers and he told 3 of the greatest fucking stories I've ever heard. One of them I'm going to tell you after the pod. And I said, Tucky, I'm not sure what the audience is for this stuff, but leave it with me. I'm going to find a cashy and we'll let a bit of this gear go and we'll have them in stitches. In fact, maybe the live show that we do. Because I've honestly, his spa story, His spa story involves a bit of Onka Paringa and their head trainer at the time, Drapey, their head trainer. Holy shit! And I said, thank God, Tucky, you didn't say that on the mic. Oh, he said he just got a bit excitable, Benny. How are we going him off? Shit, do we need a break? Oh, God. Anyway. Shit. Okay.
Shit.
Right.
I don't even know what I asked to get to that point.
Either. But anyway, in there somewhere was my BT-50 Give It Heaps moment. Now, before we came on, Chom's obviously not here, Old Media Street. He's probably doing another article with Jackie Epstein or Johnny Ralph. But he's on a flight to New Zealand with his lovely partner for his well-earned break. To go and just have some boom boom and do some fresh air and whatever footballers do on their breaks. But before he went to the Virgin Lounge, I collared him and said, "No, you've got to give us a bit. In fact, you've got to give us heaps before you get on that plane." So here's Chom.
All right, Butsy. So my Give It Heaps moment of the week is actually a piece that I was doing for Mazda, which you yourself were involved in. Yep, it was Brett. It was also Josh Jenkins as well, and then Willie Taylor.
Brett's second name?
Delidio. Yes, that's his number.
Jeez, 288 games doesn't get you far anymore.
Pick one, a few finals there. I might have just slipped my mind really, but Willie Taylor was on my mind as well. I know his name. Willie Taylor, media start. Sorry,
relevant.
Brett, you've had a better career than me. I'll put that out there. Anyway, I come into this reel thinking, oh, I'm going to have a big role in this. I'm the upcoming media star. I've gone and had myself plastered all over the Herald Sun for
paper,
3 weeks. I'm thinking, geez, my role is going to be big and I'm going to absolutely give it heaps in this moment, in this reel. But as it turns out, I was instructed to sit there while Willie T took the thunder. You had an acting piece. Brett Delidio also had a big acting piece, and Joshy Jenkins had a few lines, and I had to sit there and make some casual facial expressions. So I'm not quite sure what Mazda were thinking, but I didn't actually get much of a go in that reel. And then the kicker, I had to post it to my own timeline, and I wasn't in it.
Oh, so, hey, I thought you did very well.
Thank you.
Some star actors started with non-speaking parts.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere. Well, anyway, my Mazda moment for Give It Heaps of the week was my Charlie Chaplin role in Mazda's reel. So, anyway, can't win them all.
Mr. Bean didn't talk either. Right, we're back. So there's Chom giving it heaps. So have you caught up with the Addrapy that he did? He got paid heaps, I'm told, according to my spies, but he didn't say a word in the ad. A bit like you in a tradie beer ad, saying nothing.
A bit like him at the live show with Gorney.
You saying nothing. He's a recidivist. He's becoming a habit for him. But to his credit, his facial expressions were very good. So I hope he has a rest. He's had a good first half of the year, our boy, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. He's was good again on the weekend, even though they didn't get the result.
Yeah, he was one of the better players.
Yeah.
And he's got he's playing with a strapped up wing, so let's not piss in his pocket too much. But he would be on that plane now thinking he's a genuine league footballer. And that must be important. So as are you. I mean, how important is that to you to know that once you get back and as long as you're fit and right, that you're ready to play at the level? Because that must take 40 games.
Yeah, it takes a while. I feel like even I think this year I cemented in myself that I definitely feel like I'm showing the player I can be.
Yeah.
That's why I said the other week I was so upset when I got injured because I felt like I was finally just put it all together. But definitely after a few games it takes a bit to feel comfortable.
And you're not going to lose that though.
No.
When you go to the gym and when we're shifting tin at Salt, you'll know that, righto, okay, I'm going to have to get back. I'm going to have to do 6 weeks. I'm going to have to build up the tank again. But you're going to be that player.
Yeah, fucking
again. Scotty said that in the presser today about Zach Reed. He goes, he's done his hammy. The kids had the worst luck. And he's a smart man, Scotty. Okay, and obviously gun player himself, so he knows a thing or two about a thing or two. But he said if he'd injured himself in the VFL again, he's still thinking, am I good enough? Can I make it? He knows he's good enough and can make it. So they're a bit chilled out. So good on you, Chomby. He deserves to have a beer or two and get a bit of fresh air and just get a bit weird because he's a very weird man, as he likes to tell Johnny Ralph. And we'll have you back next week. But let's focus on his here, which is you, right? And your Give It Heaps moment, my man. What have you got?
Yes, my Give It Heaps. I'm actually giving a shout out to someone that's been given it heaps. It's Sarah Rowe. Do you know who Sarah Rowe is?
I
Butts?
love Sarah Rowe.
Yeah.
She is my favourite Irish woman because there is a devilish side to her. She calls a spade a spade. She's very pretty too, but not that's everything. But she's in my top 5 AFLW players.
Yep.
I mean, I find it hard to go past Gracie Egan.
Yep.
But Rowy's up there.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Sarah has, in this off-season played soccer for Central Coast Mariners and just won the grand final for the A-League Women's.
Fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's...
And Channel 10 has the A-League.
Mate.
I might get sacked.
100% get on that, though. She's won the A-League final and had the celebrations, and then she's rocked up to Collingwood AFLW training the following week, starting pre-season.
Has this been out in the media?
A little bit. I don't reckon it's getting enough attention. So my...
TV?
I think, probably not enough. So my Give It Heaps is Sarah Rowe doing that and then going to pre-season with Collingwood and rolling around and dominating that as well. So good on her.
That's a good story, Drapesy. Maybe I could get you in the story. Have you ever done a TV story?
I don't know
voice
if
one.
inserting myself in stories is me,
You
but
could do like an apprenticeship. Remember we spoke about that? I was going to try to get you on the soccer coverage.
I know.
Like 4 years ago, you were looking to do a bit of media. I was going to get you sideline.
so it'd be me, you, and Sarah Rowe walking and doing interviews.
Do you know? In fact, we've got a new kid at 10. He's going quite well. But I had to give him some feedback the other day. I was told by one of my senior counterparts to give the young fellow a bit of feedback. I didn't know how to say this, but he's putting himself in too many shots.
Oh.
Yeah. And I said, this might sound rich coming from me, but I think you need to get a few runs on the ball. You know, just go a bit easy. The lad, and he's good, okay? And he's really going to get there. There was just a little bit too much of him in the shot.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, is this a glass house sort of Stones operation? What do you think? Can I give that feedback or as a leader?
Oh, he'd have to be doing it quite a lot, I reckon, for you to call him up. But do you see Tom Morris? He had
that was bad.
Ed Richards. That was great.
I said he had the full house. He had the handshake, which doesn't need to be in there, mate. So he said the opening handshake. He's done 3 what we call 2 shots, sort of cutaways of him just talking shit, and then a piece to camera as well. It's just ridiculous.
Didn't get a kick to kick in. You normally like to do a bit of kick
I
to
do.
kick.
I like to show my skills. Did the boys talk about that? Because I actually got a bit of feedback about that from a club saying, "Look, mate, we don't need your fucking shit kick to kicks with our star players."
Yeah, I played a bit.
State league. Yes, there was no kick to kick. I don't know how well Maury kicks it, to be honest. Plays in the old Melburnians fifths. So
Cricket man, isn't he?
cricket man, good cricketer, Tomo. Look, if he's in cricket stories, I'm happy for Maury to do some throwdowns because he's a good cricketer. But if you're playing old Melburnians fifths, you're not kicking, okay? So that's the same for Xander. Anyone who hasn't played in the state league or above, you're not kicking, okay?
No, I did like the interview. His hair's looking good.
Xander's?
No, Tommy.
No, I think it's completely grown back, cultivated. Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah, very, very good. Right. So I went to the GP. He said I've got a bit of high cortisol. He said,
What does that mean?
it's the stress hormone. He said you're a bit stressed. He goes, you're scrolling, you can't hold on to a thought, you're fatigued, you're getting body aches. He said, are you gambling? I said, a little bit. He said, you got high cortisol. He goes, you need to relax. He goes, you've got to stop comparing yourself to others, competing with other journalists, award-winning or not. You've got to stop comparing yourself to 19-year-old mid-season draftees because he said your time was 23 years ago. He goes, I know your highlights tape would stack up very, very well. And to be honest, you probably should be getting back payments for a 6-month contract. That's what he said. But he did say you need to find a way to relax. And I don't really know how to do it. Touch of Thailand was good for me. It burnt down. JC, have you got it? I mean, you're modern and hip and know how to. It's hard with kids too. You know, Ted's got a sore ear and Bella doesn't sleep.
Do you make time for yourself to do things that you love by yourself?
I do a bit of incline bench when I can. I I think I like high cortisol. You know what I mean? I think I feel good being stressed. But he did say I looked very tired. He was worried about burnout.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
You have got a lot going on.
Maybe the plumbers. Is there a way to relax? How do you relax, Benny?
I don't know if I've got the secret to it, but there's this thing called alcohol.
Right, yeah.
Normally go to the pub.
Yeah,
and,
that's a good one.
It does the trick sometimes.
That's true. How do you relax, Moff?
I think exercise.
Exercise. See, that's a good one. I had a run today.
Yep.
I went to the local soccer field and did about 10 strides. It's not a lot. But I felt good. I felt some endorphins move. Yeah. That's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
I tell you, he's in good shape. I saw Luke Ball at the gym the other day.
Bally, yeah.
He is an incredible Nick.
So he must be having a bit of a midlife crisis, Bally. He's a little bit. He's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah, he went to the Oval and he ran like, what did he do? Did like 2000s. He was doing that kind of running.
2000s, there you go. Yeah, that's a crisis. That's a cry for help, Bally. Because you can't play anymore and you want to play.
He looks like he could.
Yeah, well, he probably could for old Zabs or someone. Well, maybe I need to reach out to him because there's only so many ways we can deal with this. Yeah, no, that's a cry for help that he's got there. Because now I digress. So my other crisis is, and why I did go and do some running today, was Ted is now at the age where he's got footy fever, this kid. Okay, he barracks for 10 teams and he just wants to play and goal umpire and anything to do with footy. And he's just starting to work it out, right? And I'm in that little mode where I can pump up my career. Like he thinks I'm good because there's a couple of photos of me on the G and a couple of records where I was the second in the photo that I've printed and stuff like that. But he goes, why don't you play anymore? And I virtually had to say, like, your daddy's a coward. Like, I said I'm a bit old. I'm 42. I said I'm a bit old. I said it's a young man's game. Because how long can you play for? I said, 35. Then I thought, Fletch was 40. So then I had to sort of weasel my way out of it. And I thought, is there one more in me somewhere? Not at the high level because I actually can't move and my shoulder is fucked. But I was thinking, do I give him the thrill of seeing daddy play? Or is it better that he never sees daddy play? Because if his only memory is me shitting my pants and being non-competitive.
Photo behind you.
That is disgusting, right? And that needs to go, by the way. That is fat daddy. Yeah, is it worth? I don't know if it's worth it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you've got highlights, don't you?
Oh, I've got highlights.
Yeah.
I was trying to bring them up for Hep, and my computer had I was going to show them to Hep for some reason.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
I don't know. I wanted to show him. I'll show you before we're done. They're on my jump drive. Yeah, but I do have highlights.
Yeah. That might have to do.
Yeah. So you reckon don't play?
Oh,
because your
I'd like to
brothers are
see-
into me
Yeah,
too.
my brothers are still playing. They're still enjoying it.
Are they 40?
39 and 41.
Yeah, shit.
So I think maybe you can go out there.
I think if there's a battling country club, and I'll put this on the record, Moff, battling country club with a bit of coin. If we can do up a deal where maybe we have a game in the twos as a ruck forward, resting, maybe a bit of time on the pine to be fair and crack a few gags, game in the twos and then host a function, take you up. You haven't got much to do on the weekends.
Nope, I'm free.
And maybe a bit of a pass grade, maybe Tucky. And Tucky can let fly with some of the real blue stuff.
DM to 200 plus if you want this sporty and we'll organise
okay.
it.
So it's a sporto with butts having a game, and I'll guarantee you 3 touches before I rip something. But I'm happy to get out there in your Scoobies, not your ones, mainly because of body issues. But yeah, if we can do that and then hang on for the senior game, if I don't get concussed, otherwise Drapes is hosting, we can do something. So DM. And we'll talk price and preferably payment on the day. Thanks. Very good.
What about the state league you're kicking a 100-metre goal?
I loved that. The comment, look, and if that state leaguer wants to DM me to put down a slightly better commentary track for him that I could dub over the tape, because the young lady sounds like quite a good caller, but he's had a mare and said that it only went 60 metres. And it's ruined his moment.
Yeah, it has.
I mean, it went 85.
Yeah. No, I thought the commentary was terrible.
Well, that wasn't terrible. Let's not knock the young commentator having to go off. That's a bit harsh. But a bit like me when I said Sean Manor, where's he been for 15 years? I just got my maths wrong. You know, like Sean Manor's 27. Fucking hell. But the commentator, he'd probably just like another go at that, just to dub down another piece of commentary. So, yeah.
Jordan Enderman is his name.
Yeah, I saw him in an interview with him. He was a cool guy.
Surely that gets like some attention from the NFL.
It was a big
That's
torry.
a massive
Like Guelf.
kick. Yeah. Big pro kick in the off season.
Oh, that was beautiful. Guelph's back. Sorry
he
to cut
is.
you off with Jordan Enderman, but surely, Jordan, if you're not sending videos to Pro Kick, and I've sent videos to Pro Kick, if you need me to connect you to Nathan Chapman, I'm happy to be involved. We'll get you a deal. You can be our guy. And then maybe Guelph as well.
Yeah, the Roo's back in.
Oh, the
You got a
Roo.
bit sexual on Friday when you're watching the game.
I did. I don't know if it's a healthy thing, but he's very attractive. You know, I remember Dr. Feelgood once said, you know, it's okay to have these feelings. And I have them for Guelph. He's a very attractive man.
He's on that show, The Players, tonight.
Is he?
He's on that tonight, yeah.
Two grand apparently you get for going
A
on
bit more, I think.
Shit!
But
Well,
yeah.
there you go.
And they have to come prepared with a couple of stories. So
You
he
do.
was,
That's giving it heaps. You've always got to have a couple of
over
stories.
lunch today at the club, we were discussing what stories would be appropriate and which wouldn't.
What's
But,
Guelph going to go with?
I think he's going to talk about Joe Burrow's story,
Oh, yeah.
How he hit
Smoking Joe Burrow.
how he hit him up and on Instagram, and then he replied, and they got dinner together when he was in Melbourne.
Fair income.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a good
It's
story.
pretty incredible. We just messaged him randomly saying like, if you're around, I'll show you around the area. And then they went to Nobu and had a night together.
Guelph.
Yeah,
Guelph's the kind of guy that if he plays his cards right, I think he could be on postcards. With his little rig out and his good-looking grill. Get his modelling agency to send a few tapes of his work. How does he talk, Guelph? We should get him on. Pretty good talker.
Yeah, he's got better. He
Yeah.
used to be a little bit awkward, but he's definitely got better. But his modelling stuff's been taken off. Actually, he's been doing some good stuff.
The Roo.
Yeah,
And he got
some-
through.
Got through, and then
You kick
a couple others didn't get through, so there'll be a few in this
so
week.
he's in. I mean, if you're a bomber at the moment, you're under no selection pressure.
No, well, the boys are calling Jaden Laverty Stephen Bradbury because he's just the last big fella standing tall. But we've got another debutant, which is
Zachy Johnson.
I don't know if they're going to announce
Well, I'll
today.
tell you what, this makes me old. I played with his father.
Really?
Yeah, Aaron. He'll be listening.
Wow.
He's a plumber.
Yeah.
And he's a good fella. He was always a character, could play a bit, Azza. Back at the Northern Knights in 1999.
Yeah.
I played with his dad, and fuck, that makes me feel old.
I know,
I've got a
mate-
4-year-old. His son's playing league footy.
Yeah, it makes me feel old because his grandparents are younger than my dad. And it's just like, fuck.
So how old is his grandparents?
Like
50?
60s.
60s.
Early 60s. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fuck.
Aaron Johnson.
They're born in 2000.
So old Azza, I'm still probably trying to find it and probably clipping my pubes, making my bell look bigger. And Aaron was a father. I mean, he's probably bunged out Zach when he's 25, is he?
Must have, yeah.
Let's do the figures. Aaron's 40 now.
22.
22!
Yeah.
Oh, I was shaving my bell, for sure. that was my real bell shaving years. He used to call it egging up. Yeah, I'm egging up.
Yeah. So, he's playing, and young Angus Clark got the rising star.
He goes, well, that kid.
Good week for the young boys.
I'm really enjoying this sort of stripped back version, Drapesy. I think we're onto something here.
A bit of an update for the keyring gate.
Right, keyring gate.
The keyrings have arrived, the new ones, and will be sent out this week. So keyrings are going back out.
The keyring and right, they have gone back out.
They're in the process. We've actually got Swale on packing duties, and they're like padded envelopes. So
Well,
they're not
thank
gonna-
Christ,
they're not gonna-
Swale's on.
Yeah.
So, what's happened? Talk me through it.
So
Not Mac.
keyring gate had Mac doing it,
Oh.
and they were in just flimsy envelopes, so they
Yeah.
just slid out. But now they're in padded
Yeah.
parcels, basically. So they're going to all safely arrive.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness.
So, what can we learn from this?
Well, Ratface putting Mac on it for one. I've got a bit of a bone to pick on that.
Pick it.
Well, it might be a bit of the sort of off-air conversation coming on air, but no, I might save that one, Ratface. But thank God he's put his best man on.
Yeah.
I did see Mac at the pub on
Actually,
on
I got a
Friday.
voice message. I got a voice
Oh,
message.
you got a voice here, have you?
Yeah.
Good. Now you're awake.
Now he's awake. Boom, boom.
Right.
Where are we?
Hey boys, this is Matt Kelly here from Footy and Friends and Clubby Sports. I'm just going to ring in to say I saw Butts actually on Friday night at the Malvern Vale Hotel.
Local.
I was there for dinner with a big group of my mates and he came in and
Big group.
we shook his hands and said g'day and all that and asked him what he was up to and he said he was just having a beer and dinner and watching the footy. So I instantly assumed he was just there with a group of mates, but he was at one side of the pub and later on in the night we moved to a different table and there's Butts just sitting on his own having a steak and a beer by himself. So I'm just wondering if this is a normal occasion for Butts and if this is something that other people do. But, yeah, if you ever need someone to drink at the pub with, us boys sort of felt like we might needed him to come join us because we're feeling a bit sorry for him. But, yeah, enjoy the show, boys.
On you, Mackie. Can I just say there is a lad that doesn't have kids yet, okay? Because there is an absolute beauty. So what happened, and I often pop into the pub after I call the footy too. It's 11 o'clock at night. You're all G'd up and I have a couple of beers by myself. Sometimes at about midnight after a night game, there's young kids there drinking vodka Red Bulls. And once they were going, like some group go, Butsy, do you want one? I had a vodka Red Bull, got home, couldn't sleep till 3 a.m. But my wife said, I've put the kids to bed, haven't really got dinner for you. Go to the pub, enjoy yourself for an hour. And I said, that is fantastic. So I sat there, I had 2 beers and a steak and didn't get bothered by anyone except Mac. And what you don't realise when you've got a couple of kids and you don't have much time to yourself is a little bit of me time, having one eye on the Cranbourne races and one eye on the footy is bliss. Okay, so never disturb what looks like a lonely man at the pub because he's probably in heaven and you coming up might just be fucking it up. But in saying that, I love it when plumbers say g'day. So always just say g'day, but don't feel sorry. Okay. Do you get that? You wouldn't have that yet.
What?
Do you think going to the pub by yourself for a steak and a couple of beers is sad, like Mac?
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't do it personally.
Wouldn't you?
No.
I do it a lot.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about. Doing something for yourself, that's good.
Yes.
You can do that more. Get the cortisol
down.
lower.
Actually, that would lower the cortisol.
It did. Yeah. Until you start like hoping Guelf kicks a goal because he's in your multi and then your cortisol gets high again. Come on, you sexy little Roo. Not sure I can say that.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I can. He's good looking. Right, a little couple of other things. This is a good rundown, Moff. Quickly, what else did I have for you? Right. Oh, the Pennywise bloke.
Yeah.
Now, I've got beef with him. Okay, but he butted up to me. He feels quite bad about the Pennywise. Did we talk about this?
No.
So he coined Pennywise 4 years ago and said, I must have looked a bit like Pennywise for one show. And it just fucking stuck. And he felt bad. You know when you cause someone mental health issues with bullying and then you kind of want to fess up to it? That's what this fella, Lockie Simpson, effectively did. He goes, my God, mate, I made one comment and you've been called Pennywise for the last 5 years. I hope you're okay. And I said, mate, no damage done. That's okay. We've ridden that out. No one, they tend to call me Tom Brady or Luke Darcy or Matty Richardson now. And then fucking Benny fires up with a big Pennywise thing of my body with Pennywise's head. And it all comes back again.
Oh, I used AI for that one. And I just put in a picture of you on Channel 10 and just said, make this news reporter Pennywise the clown. And at first it spat out something that was just the same picture. And then I had to say, no, let's get the actual clown in.
How good's AI? ChatGPT. It's so good.
Anyways, but it's not all bloody roses sometimes.
Sorry,
Couple of
Butsy.
things. Sorry, Benny. What?
No, sorry to you.
That's okay, mate. That's okay. Some things to get through on the rundown before we get to our special guest, who's really good. In fact, it's 2 special guests, and I'm very excited. Right. How's Bailey Smith going?
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
He's on fire. That's what he is.
He's going very,
And
he's playing very well.
He's playing the media. He gave TJ nothing. He gave me nothing on the Thursday.
Really?
He's letting it out. He's getting his shins jabbed and he's telling the world. So we get sympathy for Bailey. Then he's posting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing was his post. And let's not get into dangerous areas here, but his response to that post was quite humorous.
It was.
A little bit naughty and quite humorous. And then the first emoji underneath it was the cats cheering and clapping.
It was too.
I'm thinking, how are we going here, Bailey?
Yeah. I think he cops it a bit. And
We
people
love him.
Yeah, I love him. And people like, he's only commenting that back, I think, because it's probably been a theme of comments coming towards him and he's
no
just
doubt.
playing into it. So,
As a Cats lover, when Bailey said, let's win the flag, mate. Well, let's worry about the partying after we win the flag. I got warm and fuzzy, Benny. And then I went and put the headband on Ted and said, you wear this and you'll get superpowers. Yeah.
no, he's going well.
Yes. Okay, let's not wade into those
Don't
areas.
bring him up around Moff. Moff can't stand
You're not a
him.
Bailey man.
Yeah.
No, well, I see, Drapes, I like him because he's different. Okay? We celebrate different. Final
And
question.
he's very good looking.
Oh, he is too. Him and Guelf. We're going to have a weird night.
I think we can take that up.
Can we?
I reckon we should.
You, me, Guelf, Bailey Smith. What could possibly go wrong? That'll just be fantastic.
Should we shout out a couple of plumbers?
Yes, we will, but I want to ask one more question. Mid-season draft. Have we heard from the Goob? Or have you heard anything about the Goob?
No, I haven't.
I'm a bit fearful. I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't reckon?
No. I have no intel there. Just reading the buzz. I read today that the Bombers are into this kid. He was not a kid, 27-year-old from the Waffle. Checked out his stats. Looks a really good player. It's 15 touches every week. Playing against listed players. Waffle team of the year. Good on him for 27. He's only my height, 199, which is short for ruckman these days. But he's well put together, and I think he's a backup for Goldfingers.
Okay. Well, I got some mail on Goob, actually, because
hello.
my good friends at Frankston
Play the sting. Thank you.
Play it?
Yes.
I've got mail. I've got mail. I've got mail for you.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do have a bit of mail. So my good friends at Frankston went up to Southport this weekend to go play them.
Yeah.
They got beaten by about 50 points, and they've said to me after the game, yeah, we just got Goob drafted. So he dominated.
Right.
So I think he did himself no harm on the weekend. So
That's good if they're having a final look. My fear, right? A couple of players got the call not to play. So the kid who Dermy's partner, who we met when she came on, her son, he's going to be picked up by the Pies. He's over playing in the Waffle, former Richmond VFL. He got the call from Collingwood, don't play this week.
Wow.
We're going to take you.
is that common knowledge or is that?
Oh, no, I
breaking
think
a
Morris
story?
reported it.
Okay.
And there was one or two others that got advised not to play. So if a club's desperate for you, they're pulling you out. Maybe they think Goob is so rock solid.
Yeah.
Let's have one more look. But I think I'm projecting my negativity from missing out on 8 drafts onto Goob. And I'm so sorry to do this, Goob, because we're due some luck, me and Goob. But I don't know. I just want someone to show some balls and take him.
Yeah. Well, we've got 4 picks available, and I reckon we're probably going to use them
Rob
all.
Forsyth still there?
Yep.
Come on, Robbie.
Yeah, I don't know what their plan is, but we have got 4 spots and we have got a lot of injuries at the moment. So I think they're going to use all 4.
Scotty said today 1 or 2 may play on Thursday.
Really?
This is no bullshit. He goes, we might put him mid-season as straight in.
Wow.
Could it be Goob?
Maybe. Imagine
He
that.
actually... Fuck!
Doesn't have to fly
I might
down.
have buried the lead. Oh, we can get the grab. It was in my story. He actually said, and I thought he was making a joke. He goes, oh, yeah, no, that's a real possibility. We could put someone straight in. It'd be handy logistically if they're a Queenslander. Play a new sting.
Imagine his first day. It's just at the
Just roll
Gabba.
down to the Gabba. Who is he playing on? Big O?
Yeah, Big Fort. Been holding
Big
down
Fort?
the
He could go right on Fort. I mean, Fort's good.
Yeah.
But Goober's not going to shit himself against Fort.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, we've done everything we can to get Goob on a list.
We have,
Me
really.
personally as well, going
Yeah.
down. I've been campaigning from all summer and then getting injured, so we're doing everything we can.
We are. I think we've ticked it all off. There's going to be a bit of editing there because we got rude once or twice. I'm sorry about that, Moff.
No,
It's
it's okay.
probably my high cortisol.
Should we get around the plumbers before?
Yes, getting round the plumbers. I don't know where that is, Moff. Oh, yes. 200 Plumbers membership. Thanks for your support. read these names individually. Okay. Jake French.
I haven't got it.
Jade Burke. Brady Watson. Trent Downey. Zane Crackers Keenan. Chime in whenever you want, Drapesy.
Danny Sorry.
That's very good. Billy Long. Ned Long's brother.
James K.
Josh Fry.
Will Parkinson.
Jake Sydney.
Henrietta Evans.
You're a good reader. Pat Toomey. Kel Toomey's brother.
Has to be. Alex Dab.
And Ryder Gobber Hobbs's brother. That's his name, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is. Oh, shit. Okay, that is well done to all those plumbers, and the replacement keyrings have been sent. So they will arrive this week. Thank goodness Willie Swale does not fuck anything up, unlike Mac. And this is what you get. You get a member-only keyring with your number on it. First in, first served, 200 only. Exclusive video podcast content each month. We might put the Tucky stories in there, okay? The real blue ones. Plumber shout out in the 200-plus episode like that. That was really professionally done, Drapesy. I was very impressed. 20% off all merch, behind-the-scenes content, and early ticket access to the 200-plus live events. Drapesy, which you had a meeting with Swale tonight, didn't you? When are we thinking?
We're thinking in July.
Right.
Yeah.
Full venue.
First week
Guests,
of July. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I've actually got word of where the venue is. It's not going to be a pub. It's a step better. I don't
Can
want
we drink?
Yeah. So it's going
Can we
to.
smoke?
There's put it this way. There's a stage.
Wow.
And there's a bar, and then there's a whole lot. It's actually just a perfect setup. So,
Right.
yeah. Stay tuned. Hopefully we pick that place. But yeah.
All right, and I've got a Zoom with the good people at Mount Buller on Monday. We need to discuss this because we got Chom right. If you need me to go through the high-ups at Essendon and through your management, I'm happy to, but they're keen to have us midweek. Make it midweek is their theme. You, Izzy, I think Paddo's dagging along. I think Swale wants to come. Pretty much whoever we want to come. We're going to get some fresh air. We'll have a bit of a ski. You can't do that. You can hit the Olympic Training Centre, hit the spa, have a couple of beers, nice alpine food, and just take in the fine air. So we just have to find a time. Probably late June.
Yep.
When are you out of the boot?
End of June.
Okay, that's when we'll talk. We'll let the plumbers know, but we might do a bit of a meet and greet at the pub as well. Flog off a bit of merch. Be rude not to. Times are tough. Drapesy, almost there. Been a good ep too. I've really enjoyed myself. Now, make sure you listen after this for our special with Dyson Heppel and his best mate in H. You tell us a little bit about their brotherhood that they have. It's unbelievable. Beautiful.
Yeah, you'll listen to it on the episode, but it's amazing the bond that they have, and it's come from a really nice place, and I think everyone will feel a lot nicer after listening to that episode. So I'm excited for it.
Can I just say that I was half sooking about having a bit of the flu before coming in here and feeling a bit like shit. After spending a bit of time with that kid, I'm not sooking again. Like, he's so positive, and he just wanted to be on a podcast, and his attitude to life and what everything can get thrown at you is very inspirational.
Exactly.
And you know I love Hep.
Yeah.
So listen on to that one. It's kind of like Woke on Friends, but way better.
Way better.
Yeah, what we've done there. Way better. Moff, do you agree?
Mate, it was unreal.
Yeah.
He's an absolute champion. H.
So good. So it's a 3-ep week or a 2-ep week.
We're yet to decide.
Right.
knows?
There's that just content everywhere. My frontal lobe's going off.
Yeah.
My cortisol's going high, but I'm going to say to the GP, listen, mate, I think I do my best shit when the cortisol's high.
I'll tell you what, you boys, congrats. You've nearly hit the 4-hour mark of potting tonight. So that's got to be a record. So, yeah, well done.
We're almost there. I got a few oysters, but I just want to say for Goober out there and all those state leaguers, I'm thinking of you. If you've put together a good 12 weeks, you're half a fucking chance. If there's one more email to send, one more call to make, one more highlights disc to put it out, well, just fucking put it out, because before you know it, you're 42 and you're telling lies to your 4-year-old about how good you are. Okay, and you're making excuses why you've never played. So send it out there, stay in the state leagues, and sing a bit of fucking Shannon Knoll. Go, Goober. at the corner of the corner shop. He's been waiting down there, waiting half the days. You never ever see him from the top. He's been pushed around, knocked to the ground. He gets to his feet and he says, Goober, you fucking legend, what about me? It isn't fair. I've had enough now. I want my share, can't you see? I want to live, but you just take more than you give. Are we there?
Awesome.
Very good.